Episode 1. Catherine. Nobody thought that Catherine Morland could be a heroine. Her life, her parents, her own character were all a little bit boring. Her life was ordinary. Her parents were very plain and ordinary. Even Catherine's own character was plain and ordinary. She was a bit of a dork, really. Catherine was born in Fullerton, a village south of Reading and the River Thames. Her father was an honest man and a good father. He worked for the church in the village. He wasn't handsome, but he was kind, although his name was Richard. Her mother was very plain and ordinary too. She was a sensible woman and didn't often get excited about her plain and ordinary life, although she was very excited to have a baby girl because she already had 3 boys. Catherine was tall, with long arms and long legs, and she was thin. She had dark, thin hair, big eyes, a big nose, and a big mouth. She was a nice, pleasant child. When Catherine was young, she drew and she played the piano. But she did these things badly because she wasn't interested in them. Mrs. Morland listened to hours and hours of Catherine playing. So her mother also didn't much like her playing the piano. She could hear very well that Catherine wasn't interested in it. Catherine liked to play outside. She liked to play in the dirt and climb trees. She liked all the boys' games. She was very noisy and couldn't keep still. She didn't like to be inside, and she hated to be clean and tidy. She loved to be in the back garden, behind the house. Her favourite thing to do was to lie down on the grass at the top of the hill, then roll down the hill really fast. She thought it was the best thing in the world to do. No, nobody thought Catherine could be a heroine. Her mother, who was usually a sensible woman, liked to dress her eldest daughter in pretty dresses. But Catherine then went outside and played in the dirt. She usually played with her friends, a large, fat, blue-black beetle called Fatty, and a fat, wet, brown-green frog, also called Fatty. They liked to play fighting games. She liked to play fighting games. Poor beetle, poor frog. They had no choice. What a strange girl Catherine was. This was Catherine at 10. One day, when she was 12 years old, she stopped piano lessons. This was the happiest day of Catherine's life. It was the happiest day of her mother's life, too. Catherine, our heroine, was a kind girl who didn't get angry. She was still plain, tall and thin, and her eyes, nose and mouth were still large. But she was beginning to change, because she had colour in her cheeks. When she became a teenager, Catherine began to grow more beautiful. At 15, she began to curl her hair. She kept her nails nice and clean. Her face became rounder. She had wonderful skin, and her eyes sparkled. Even her mother and father sometimes said, "Catherine is quite a good-looking girl. She's almost pretty." She didn't run around outside in the wind and rain anymore, or roll down hills. She stayed inside a lot. She was now happy to be in a comfortable chair reading a novel. She read, and she read, and she read. She loved to read books, but only if they didn't have useful knowledge in them. She loved exciting novels, the books with all story and no boring information. She grew clean, and she grew smart. She was often caught laughing to herself when she thought nobody was in the room, but she never said what she was thinking. She was a strange character. Yes, nobody thought Catherine could be a heroine. Then Catherine was 17 years old. She was still reading a lot. She knew how to play piano a bit, but she didn't play very much, and she didn't play very well. But she could listen to other people play without falling asleep. She still couldn't draw, and certainly not draw someone she was in love with. Most young women at 17 drew the man they were in love with, and they usually drew many drawings of him. "Why haven't you drawn your man?" they asked Catherine. "Because I haven't been in love yet. I haven't even fancied anyone," was her reply. She reached the age of 17 without falling in love, without even flirting with anyone. There was nobody she fancied. Even worse than that, nobody showed that they fancied her. This was strange. But strange things can usually be understood when you look for the reasons. There was not one handsome man in the village. No, not even a young man. And certainly no lord or baronet. There was not one family in their village of 40 neighbours which had a fine, handsome young man. Not one. But Catherine is going to be a heroine. And a village of 40 homes without a fine young man in it can't stop this. Something must and will happen to throw a hero in front of her. Then one day, some friends of the family came for tea. Their names were Mr. and Mrs. Allen. "We've decided to go to Bath for a few weeks. The waters there will be very good for Mr. Allen's health," said Mrs. Allen. Mr. and Mrs. Allen were very close friends of the Morlands. Mr. Allen owned most of the houses in and around Fullerton. They didn't have any children, but Mrs. Allen liked Catherine very much, so asked her to go to Bath with them. "Bath is a very popular place for young adults to meet other young adults," Mrs. Allen said. Our heroine was very excited and immediately thought of lots of balls and beautiful dresses. Catherine accepted the invitation.